we're gonna
Right,
leave all the talking
and
to
she's
you.
like you said, she's the operational business. She's hiring, she's
Yep.
firing. So if you're hiring and firing, you talking about there's 3 workers that day. That goes back. You talking about 3 workers, but in the video it shows 6 people working that day. So come on now, that was
Come
a lie
on.
Right.
she told.
And then you can see in the video that the lady in the Infinity had, she pans and zooms over to the everybody that's on the side of that cookie shop about a gold car, and you can see it's 2 dudes that was working plus Maurice, and they had a lady in there
Yo,
that looked like she was the one that was in the front register who seen the
that's a fact.
she's the one who apparently pressed some button or was taking the order, but the whole time they said Maurice was the one who took the order, and then they start lying about what kind of cookies he's getting and who he's getting it for. So that's
Y'all remember
where
when
they start
Maurice was
messing up.
walking across Maurice was walking on the pavement, like right by the Makitas, where he was looking at? He was looking at Family Dollar, looking over there at that Ford.
Yes, he waited to look and make sure that they left. And when 007 said that she followed the dudes that ran out the back of the cookie shop, she followed them into Family Dollar. And when they walked out, they turned right to go towards the Tahoe that's picking them up. But then at the same time, Maurice come out the cut and he turned left and go down that sidewalk. And then once he gets to the end of that sidewalk, he'd turn around and look and make sure that the people got in that whip and left.
And
So
another thing,
he's looking out. He knows. Go ahead.
I was wondering also, people was wondering for a simple fact, if they got them doors where you can, they had to block them in. How else is they going? What other place can they could have locked him in where he couldn't get out? That cookie shop. He couldn't.
Right.
They had to bust him out that cookie shop. So once they got him in there, they locked him in.
Yeah, they said they upgraded and beefed up their security. That could include locks that lock you in, basically, and they have to buzz you to get out. You're right. So that's why he was locked in there. And Raven said that it's the mom that opened up the shop that morning. So she already snitched on her and said she was there. But how does Raven know that unless she on the phone all morning talking about, oh, what are all these people doing, or was she actually tagging along with the mom to open up the cookie shop? So
And
like
and
anybody
why
could have been on scene, but they're not being questioned.
Right, and I haven't heard nothing about their phones now. If they're investigating, why they didn't track her phone to actually see where she was at? I mean, that's what cell phones do. They
They
ping off of
probably
different
is.
places.
We really don't
Right.
know. They could be tracking her right now, and she thinking she's so scot free. That's what they want her to think, that she's scot free. No time they
Right.
on her ass.
Yeah, they letting them go get away scot free. So if they can get location on people and all this off the cell phones, why can't we get the actual phone call from MPD to Makitas, or the 911 call from the
Or even
laundromat,
from Maurice to
anything
her.
like that,
Or even from Maurice to her to find out where exactly was she at.
or from Snoop Bands and Dolph to figure out where they was going.
You give me too much information.
And then when she went back up there again, she kept lying about it. She kept putting her foot, like you
Right.
said, talking too much, putting her foot in her mouth. And like I said, like I told everybody, this was already planned before he even came in town because they had to get the perfect plan. And what they did was, you know what? He's coming in town for the turkey giveaway. They was already set in motion. The shooters was already set. All this to me was already set in motion. They just had to wait for him to go to that turkey Thanksgiving giveaway, and that's when they had planned all. They had it already planned. That they felt like this was the perfect timing and the perfect cover. But when she got on that show, who we talking about, she put her foot in her mouth.
Exactly. They don't know what they got themselves into coming out and talking all this stuff, but because they didn't
Yep.
expect this to happen. Because you know why? It just goes to prove that they thought they had some. They thought that
Their
the
lives was
12
covered up.
had their back or something. Somebody was gonna have their back where they're not gonna get in trouble. That's why they're not afraid to go up on them shows and say their side of the story. They're not afraid to keep coming on live and all this stuff and keep showing up to work. Because
And
if
the
they was
furthermore,
really thought they was in danger and going through therapy and all this stuff, why are they continuing all this stuff?
Why is she
And
still
furthermore,
meeting up with Yo Gotti, y'all? Why is she still meeting up with Yo Gotti? Why is Makita's Raven still meeting up with Yo Gotti?
Because I'm gonna
Like,
take you
what do
back
they
to I'm gonna
have
take you back
going
to
on
the
that we don't know
That's
about?
automatic.
I'm gonna take you back to the video her sister made of the twins, and when her sister said, "Oh, the twins is down with CMG now, but that's still within the but still within the family." Okay, now if you
Yep.
take that into consideration, what you mean still within the family? That means you're a part of that family because you didn't say they went over to CMG to a new artist or to a new whoever. You said it's still within the CMG family. That's what she said out her mouth.
Yeah. Anybody, look, they got a family business, right? And most of their family work for them. So if any of them got ties to CMG, is gonna come back with some type of money to do where they're gonna filter it through the business. That's why they are a prize in the eyes of anybody with some type of street ties and money, because that's a way they could flush some cash through that business, through that cookie shop. Because they
Mm-hmm.
could, and then on top
Yo,
of that,
man.
they gonna say whatever they gotta say to make it look like they not making that much money on paper, so they can still get them business loans and still try to get they be getting like little grants and
Man, they
awards
be
from the
tricking
city
you,
just for being like minorities or being small business. They take advantage and milk all that stuff. They'll do anything for the paper.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that sister Raven
And you
twin,
can
right? Raven
and
Go
you
ahead,
twin.
can't
Ace.
tell me
What do
in
you
the middle
say?
of a pandemic the cookie shop was making that much money. You can't tell me that. Cookies ain't making that much money in the middle of a pandemic.
Right.
Exactly.
Ain't nobody
Raven
really
twin
going
though,
out
right?
there.
Raven twin was on the news saying Maurice was there, man. Raven twin was on the news saying Maurice was there, and everybody wanted to skip past it. She cracked the case, and then I seen something on
Right.
Facebook with Raven's sister, Raven twin. She telling everybody that they telling her to shut the fuck up. Come on,
That's
man. She
Mhm.
crazy.
cracked.
Because
Maurice
their
was
stories are
there.
contradicted. They don't want too many stories. That's why
Yeah.
they keep letting Raven talk. They don't want too many stories out there. That's why they keep letting Raven go up there and put her foot in her mouth. Because it's too many stories. If you got more reason telling the story, if you got that's why nobody's telling the story but her. Because she figures she got all this down pat, but you don't understand. Your lies are not making no kind of sense at all.
The reason why Raven's the one
Yeah.
talking is because she the operation manager for the store. So when it
Right.
come down to any kind of public affairs or anything like that, she's got to be the person to say all that. That's why Maurice had to say what he had to say in his little BS interview, and ever since then he didn't talk because they said, "All right, Raven, you're gonna be the one that's gonna have to get us out this mess." Wardell Thomas, that's a great question.
Exactly.
He did not go there to eat no cookies.
The 100K.
Ask Young Dolph Doctor himself. He will tell you Young Dolph don't be eating a lot of food. This dude is not no fat guy. Come on. Bro, skinny people, they not going to be having that sweet, like, I know I've seen skinny people eat a lot, but Dolph don't be eating cookies like that. Look
Because
up
he
any
be
video.
drinking the lean. He eat more Jolly Ranchers than the butter cookies that he get from Makita's.
Why I told you to ask his doctor is because his doctor tell him that because you drink so much of this and soda, do not eat no sweets and desserts. That's why you don't hear them saying Dolph came to buy cookies for himself. They're telling you Dolph came to buy cookies for other people like his mom or grandma, which nobody knows. So ATG Juju said the cookie spot was like a little shop. Yes, somebody saying they have some sort of recipe to something that they be putting in some of their snacks.
Look, the trap guys come to Makita's for the cookies when they smoking a lot. But Dolph drinks a lot of lean, man. He drinks lean, man. He don't be wanting no cookies.
Right. He doesn't have the munchies like that. He's coming and getting cookies. Plus, on top of that, he's already pouring up in Sprites and Gatorade and stuff.
Exactly.
He can't have too much sugar. So the reason why he went